Chapter 6. Finish what you started. Valerie realized that he wanted to give her a very painful death. Swallowing Tilly, she began to take steps towards the red-hot coals. Even the warriors were shocked. The Alpha might be ruthless, but they also knew that he cared deeply for his pack members. If Valerie would just beg, the Alpha might reconsider. Alpha Denzel was expressionless, but his dark gaze lingered on her. It was just a matter of time before he crushed the root of her pride. Given the opportunity to embrace the death she wanted, Valerie reached the hot coals and stopped right beside them. The heat from the red-hot coals warmed her feet through the flip-flops she wore. Despite the chilly weather, she felt cold in the thin fabric on her body, given to her by Beta Adira. Gritting her teeth, she removed her right foot from the flip-flop, lifted it, and pressed it onto the hot coal. The smell of burning flesh filled the air as pain burned through her foot. The warriors were aghast, but Beta Adira had a thin smile on her face, wishing the cheating woman would just die. Valerie might be accustomed to a great amount of pain due to her training in her pack, but this pain was too much. She couldn't bear it. Without her wolf, she felt completely human as tears welled up in her eyes. She quickly withdrew a foot, but 2 hot coals stuck underneath it, burning deeply. As she tried to remove them, she lost her balance. Almost hitting the floor, she was surprised to be lifted in the air by a pair of strong arms before her body hit the ground. The warmth emitted from Alpha Denzel's arms, and his intoxicating scent wafted through her nose, destroying her brain cells. He carefully removed the burning coals stuck under her foot without flinching from the heat. Though his fingers burned, they quickly healed. Beta Adira's smile froze, replaced with jealousy, as she saw her Alpha's gaze soften for the first time, but it disappeared within a blink, replaced by irritation. She began to wonder if she saw right the first time. The warriors sighed with relief that Luna Valerie hadn't allowed her stubbornness to drive her to her grave. The fact could not be denied that she was very beautiful. Beads of sweat covered Valerie's face as she tried to endure the pain and not show how much it hurt. Alpha Denzel waited patiently for her wound to heal, so he could proceed to the next step. But when that was not happening, he sensed something wrong. "Call the pack doctor," he yelled. The instruction was directed at Adira as he instructed the pack warriors. "Take the coal away." Valerie began to wiggle in his arms, fearing they would suspect the loss of a wolf. Though it hurt, she began to think of the worst kinds of painful deaths Alpha Denzel could give her. Perhaps she should escape with this option. "I'm not done. I can do it." She struggled to pull away from him, but his grip only tightened, his gaze darkening with it. Valerie didn't realize it when tears began to toward her cheeks. "I just want to die," she cried. Alpha Denzel ignored her and carried her back to her room. "Eat that food or you finish what I started." He dropped her on the bed and ended, ignoring the blood oozing out of her wound. Her foot was in a bad shape, but he expected her wolf to do its job. Since that was happening, he began searching for the first aid box when he saw a shadowy figure around the window and growled, "Who's there?" He rushed out but saw no one. Thinking it was one of the warriors, he went back inside. But Ash resumed searching for the first aid box. He suddenly stopped and asked, "How is it that you have enfilled even a little bit?" Valerie froze instantly. Afraid of letting him know that she lost her wolf, she picked up the bowl of noodles, which had now turned cold, and began to gobble it down. "I'm hungry," she said through mouthfuls. For the first time, Alpha Denzel was left speechless. He had never met a woman so proud, stubborn, and impish. He couldn't also deny how funny she looked forcing the noodles down her throat. He wanted to tell her to slow down but thought against it. However, he was worried that there was no sign of her healing. Before Alpha Denzel could utter another word, his phone rang, and he quickly answered it. "Alpha, everything is ready at the Yellowstone pack." Looking at Valerie, who was gobbling down the food like she hadn't eaten in years in spite of her injury, he felt like he wasn't needed and responded, "Oh, I'm on my way." He left without sparing her another glance. Valerie instantly dropped the fork, as she almost choked from stuffing her mouth with so much food at once to just avoid the question. Adira arrived with a doctor who instantly began to attend to Valerie. He was the semi-doctor who had attended to her before, unknown to her. Adira was disappointed to not see Denzel. "Where is the Alpha? How would he know?" Valerie asked as she went back to eating the food as the doctor dressed her wound. No matter how it hurt, she never let it show. By putting on a tough facade, Noon would know that she lost her wolf. Adira stepped out and dialed Alpha Denzel's number. Buddha didn't answer her call this time. Alpha Denzel had shifted and began to rummage through the woods to the Yellowstone pack. The warriors were waiting for him at the Yellowstone Pack. It was the wee hours of the morning, and warriors were retiring from patrol. Most attacks would usually happen at midnight, so any attack around this time was very rare. As soon as Alpha Denzel arrived, he shifted to human form and received the clothes they prepared for him with the mask. After changing into the all-black attire and fixing his mask, they began to attack in human form after he ordered, "Make sure you get the people who beat her and that executioner," even without mentioning a name. They knew that he was referring to Valerie. "Remember, no one must shift into wolf form or they will be exposed," Alpha Denzel warned seriously. Among the mafias, it was easy, but attacking werewolves, the instruction was quite complicated. If the person they were attacking had the chance to shift, then they would be defenseless in human form. This meant they had to operate discreetly to not give their opponents the chance to shift. Alpha Denzel was just about to break into the pack when got accosted from behind. "Alpha, what about our scent?" Alpha Denzel stopped and turned around. He almost forgot that vital part. Glad to be surrounded by smart people. "Where is the vodka?" 3 bottles of vodka were brought out of a bag Dick carried. Because Alpha Denzel loved strong drink and smoke, they never ran out of them. Taking one of the bottles, he instructed, "Empty the content on yourselves and drink a little." As they did, the scent of the vodka was the only thing they smelled, whereas their unique scent could not be traced. "I will take care of the people who beat Luna Valerie." One of the bodyguards brought out his phone, showing the video of when Luna Valerie was beaten. Alpha Denzel's jaws clenched, but he didn't utter a word. Kodak said, "I will take care of the executioner and those who said foul things against her." Then he stared at Alpha Denzel. "Alpha, Luna Scarlet would be with Alpha Tristan, so we shall leave her to you." Alpha Denzel nodded his head in agreement. "The time starts now. You can kill or render unconscious anyone who gets in your way." That said, they split and pulled the masks over their faces. The 5 warriors at the gate were taken down by Alpha Denzel, making it easier for the other bodyguards. Most people were still asleep, completely oblivious to for men operating discreetly. Alpha Denzel was soon at the pack house, and those guarding Alpha Tristan's door were stabbed in the back as soon as a hand covered their mouth from behind. They had no chance to fight back nor shift. Most pack houses were all the same in aesthetics, so it wasn't hard to locate Alpha Tristan's room. Alpha Denzel brought out a thin metal, about to unlock the door before turning the knob and realizing the door was not even locked. The room was dark, but there was light in the bathroom, giving a slight visibility. There was only one person on the large bed, and Alpha Denzel aimed for the figure. Intermittently, the door to the washroom opened, and Scarlet stepped out in short pants pajamas. The open door allowed the light from the washroom to illuminate the room partially. Upon seeing a dark figure, she was about to scream when a force hit her hard, and she was flying in the air, hitting her back against the wall. Everything turned dark, but Alpha Denzel knew she wasn't dead. As he aimed to finish what he started, Alpha Tristan, startled by the noise of someone slamming against the wall, quickly woke. "Scarlet." The room was dark as the washroom door automatically closed when the figure was thrown against the wall, but he quickly switched on the bedside lamp. The same time Alpha Denzel was about to stab Scarlet, he quickly kicked the knife from his hand, but before he could mind-link any of the warriors, unrestrained punches from all angles disfigured his face. The person was so fast that he found it hard to dodge or defend himself. It was also difficult to inform the pack members through mind-link that the pack was being attacked. The punches were without restraint. Alpha Tristan could not shift, as the pain sank deeper before he was thrown against the wall. Already bleeding from the nose, his eyes were blurry due to the multiple inches on them. Her limbs were now attacked, as he kept groaning in pain. "Who are you?" he murmured, but got another punch in response. Alpha Denzel was running out of time, so he picked up the dagger, ready to stab him in the heart when a mind-link cut through his actions. "Alpha, we have 60 seconds to leave the pack. The warriors have got a hint of the attack and are already headed to the western gate."